Ottawa Alternate Neighbourhood Crisis Response Program, better known as ANCHOR, will be expanding into several more neighbourhoods later this year. The ANCHOR program launched back in 2024 in Centertown, allowing residents to call 211 for instances of mental health and substance use crisis instead of 911. Just in that first year, the program received more than 4,400 calls and resolved more than 92% of them without police involvement. In a memo, city staff said the program's boundaries will be extended eastward at the end of June into locations in the ByWard Market, Lowertown, Sandy Hill, Lees Towers, Vanier, and Overbrook areas. We got Councillor Stéphanie Plante joining us this morning to talk more about it. Good morning to you, Stéphanie.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
It's so great, and especially when you look at that number, 92% were resolved without police involvement.
Right.
When you take a look at that success, how is it so far from your point of view?
Oh, I think it's great. I think anything we can do in this area to further help people that need help. Like you can just walk down the street. You and I have talked about this many times. Like we know that there's a lot of people that need help. And what I like about ANCHOR is there is that follow through. So somebody is having a mental health crisis, there will be post-response crisis responders to say, okay, you had an overdose, or you had, someone died and you were very upset about that. How can we as a city better connect you to the services that you need? And then that follow-up can make sure that those people are getting the help that they deserve. Because I always say we're not doing a good job of that. We are not doing a good job of helping people who are extremely vulnerable and have to rely kind of on these frontline services that are not responding to their needs.
Yeah, and not only does it ease the stress on the police force as well, but it actually might even be more beneficial because in these situations, maybe things can move a little bit more quickly with the ANCHOR program?
Absolutely, and I'm not saying there isn't time for a police response. You know, I had an email the other day about some very large concerns around human trafficking, and that is absolutely something the police have to deal with. But there just are times where 911 is not the appropriate response. It's not a first responder, it's not fire, it's not ambulance, it's not police. It's someone who is gonna help someone who their training allows them to identify what is happening with that person in that moment and then better respond to their needs. We have wonderful organizations in this city that can help them. We just need those kind of plugs to connect them.
And when you look at the expansion, because it is going into different neighborhoods and there are different needs, different areas, where do you see maybe some struggles that will come with that, and how do we avoid making sure that this continues to have a positive route forward?
So I did identify some concerns, and there's two. So as you know, Vanier has the largest population of Inuit outside of Nunavut. And we want to make sure that they are getting the help they need. A lot of them are coming from the Larga-Baffin medical services. A lot of them are coming here to finish high school and go to university. And I'm not sure, and time will tell, right? We want to make sure that they are getting the culturally appropriate services that they need. So I'm going to be connecting them with some of our Inuit programs that we have in Vanier. We have some, we have TI, we have Nunavut Siviniskavut. We have really great organizations that are ready to help, and some of them even have their own outreach vans. And so there's that. And of course, the Francophone component. We want to make sure that they have people who can speak French. I have a very large Francophone diaspora that is settling in the Vanier area, whether they're from Cameroon, Guinea, Congo, etc. And I think those dynamics are very different than what we're seeing in the ByWard Market. And I want to make sure that response, that family response, is taken into account.
I think it's so wonderful too. And when you look at your ward specifically, a program like this might allow for other areas to have a little bit more care as well.
Right.
Are you excited about that potential as we can focus maybe these crises with a different sort of program like ANCHOR moving into these wards?
Absolutely. And I'll be honest, I don't know the dynamics around Lees. They're extending to Lees, they're extending to Overbrook. Those are Councillor King and Councillor Menard who have those areas. They'll better be able to advocate for what they need in those areas. But I can tell you that there is a need for that kind of missing middle. It's not necessarily urgent. It's not necessarily someone having an overdose where you need an ambulance. It's somewhere in the middle where they need help. They need help finding the services that will connect them to something more long-term. Now, do we need investments from upper levels of government in things like housing and healthcare? Absolutely. I will say that till the cows come home. But this is one thing the municipality has control over, and one thing that we're taking into our own hands, because in absence of those other levels of government not coming through, we have to help people in need.
Well, it is a great program to now be implemented into multiple neighborhoods. Again, 92% of these calls without police involvement. Really appreciate you coming by and stopping on this, because I think it's a wonderful advancement for the neighborhoods.
And thank you for advocating for the ByWard. We really appreciate it.
Of course.
Yes.